Hi, I'm Tori. I work at Sephora Beverly Drive. Today I'm going to show you how to get this kind of colorful winter look. I'd wear this really anywhere. It's either an everyday look, party look, whatever you want to make it. But let's get started. All right, so I'm starting with my face free from makeup. We're going to start with some skincare here. The first product that I'm using is the Carez Greek Yogurt Smoothie, and this is a priming moisturizer. This is good for really any skin type, especially if you have drier skin. This product has hyaluronic acid in it, so it's basically going to plump up the skin with moisture, keep your face looking nice and smooth throughout the day, and when your makeup goes on, it's just going to look perfect. Next up, I'm going to prime my under eyes with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Cream. I like to use my ring finger or middle finger to put this on. It's going to be a lot lighter touch than my index finger. This is going to smooth, brighten, and depuff my under eye area. Next up for my foundation, I'm going to be using the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. My shade is Golden Almond. This is my favorite foundation right now. It has double the pigment of a lot of other foundations, so you can get a really, really nice full coverage, and it's still going to look like your skin. I like to blend this out with a beauty blender. It just gives me a really quick airbrushed finish. Next, for my under eye concealer and a little bit of highlighting, I'm going to be using the Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer in the shade Caramel. I also like to add a little bit down the bridge of my nose just to bring that forward a little bit. I also like to blend this out with the beauty blender. It's just nice and quick, and I really like the smooth finish that it gives me. And just to add a little bit more dimension to my face, I like to add a little bit on my chin and a little bit on my forehead as well. And next, to lock all of these creams in place, I'm using the Besame Brightening Vanilla Powder. This is a translucent powder. It's very lightweight, and it's just going to mattify and set my makeup. And the brush I'm using to set this all is the number 73 from Sephora Collection. And next, to add a little bit more definition to my face, I'm going to be using the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder, and this is in the shade Deep. This is the perfect shade for contouring because it has the right amount of brown and the right amount of gray to make it look like an actual hollow for my cheekbones. And the brush I'm using for this is the number 90 Featherweight Complexion brush. And next, for my blush, I'm going to be using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector blush in Blushed Copper. This is going to give my face a little bit more glow and kind of a nice bronzy tone. And for this, I'm using my 73 brush again. And next, because there's never such thing as too much glow, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dipped. And the shade I'm using today is called Bronzed. And for this highlight, I'm using the Featherweight Complexion brush, number 93. For my brows, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Brow Box in Brown Sugar. This has two shades, and I kind of like to mix them together to get my perfect shade. And I'm just using the brush that comes in this set. I like to start with just a little bit of product at a time and really build up the brow. I'll start normally on the bottom, and I kind of brush upwards from there to give a really soft effect. I also like to keep the front of my brow very, very light so we don't get that boxy brow effect. And now to prime my eyes, I'm using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and this is the original formula. I normally like to warm this up on the back of my hand and then apply it straight to my eyes. For my eyeshadow today, I'm using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. And the first shade that I'm going to be using in my crease is Red Ochre. This is going to give my crease a very warm effect and almost kind of act as a transition shade for the rest of the shadows that I'll put down. And to blend this shadow, I'm using the Tapered Crease Brush. This is number 19 from Sephora Collection. I'm just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions and building up this color into my crease bone. I also like to wipe off this brush before I head into the next color, just to give a really soft effect as it smokes out. My next shade is going to be Cypress Umber. To add the shadow, I'm just using the number 27 Pro Blending Brush from Sephora, and I'm adding this slightly underneath the Red Ochre shade, but still in my crease area. And now I'm going back into the Red Ochre shade, and this is just going to help blend out Cypress Umber a little bit so that we don't have any harsh lines. And I'm using that same tapered brush from earlier. And next, to add a little pop to the lid and bring the eyes forward, I'm using the shade Primavera. It's a nice goldy champagne color, and I'm just going to place this on with my number 15 brush and then buff it out a little bit with my finger. Now for underneath my eye, I'm going to be mixing the same shadows that I used up top underneath just to kind of bring the look together. So using Red Ochre and Cypress Umber on a small shader brush, I'm going to buff this into my lower lash line. So this is going to add a little bit more shading underneath my eye, but it's going to keep it soft and smoky, and it's not as harsh as using an actual liner. Next up, to add a wing, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Trooper Tattoo Liner. This is one of my favorite liners to use. It's so quick and easy, and it's very, very pigmented. I'm going to start out just by creating a very, very small line on my lash line and then start to build out my wing just by flicking it. And now for my favorite mascara ever. This is the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. This is going to give you sky-high lashes and make them super, super black. And now just adding a little bit on my bottom lashes as well to balance everything out. And now I'm going to add some lashes. These are the Tarte cruelty-free lashes in the style Goddess. Just use your favorite eyelash glue to apply this, and always be sure to wait about 30 seconds before you apply this to make sure it sticks on and it's a little bit tackier. The lash fibers in this are very varying lengths, so it's perfect if you have smaller eyes but you still want them to pop. After the glue has had a chance to kind of settle on my eyes, I like to kind of shape them a little bit with my fingers to make sure that they really fit. And now for one of my favorite lipsticks. This is the Nars lipstick in Band Red. This has a nice satin finish to it, so it's not too shiny and it's not too matte. This is a really easy shade to put on, so you don't need a liner, just a little bit with the tip. And now to finish off my face, I'm going to be using the Supergoop Setting Mist. This has SPF 50 in it as well, so you're not only getting long wear, but you're getting protection. And just to add a little bit of shine and take away any frizz from my hair, I'm adding the Living Proof Nourishing Oil. This is a little bit more of a dry oil, so you won't get that greasy, heavy feel in your hair. About 2 pumps of this will do. I like to start at the ends of my hair and then work it up the mid-shaft. And now for a little bit of fragrance, I'm using Commodities Gold. This literally smells like liquid gold. It has a little bit of vanilla in it, so it's perfect for wintertime. It's very cozy, and I really can't stop smelling myself when I put this on. All right, so that is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave comments below saying how you liked it. Be sure to subscribe as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.